Mr. President, sit down.
Yes, sir.
Call me Mr. Shepard for now. Get used to keeping up appearances.
Yes, Mr. Shepard.
Everything I'm about to tell you is going to seem very strange. Yet, consider the source. You know what I say is true.
Yes, I know.
Then listen carefully. Your real education begins right now. Because you live during a time of abundance, the general populace has not been a major concern for you. You've had it pretty good. Well, that's about to change. Historically, the elites had to concern themselves with how to keep the people satiated. The people don't even have to be happy, really. As long as they have just enough to lose, they won't fight you. They won't risk it. If you go too far, however, if you get too greedy, too fast, expect a revolution.
But why not just maintain abundance for everyone rather than risk a revolution?
Because revolution is eventually where we want to take them, as long as we have control over it. But that can't happen if we're hasty, so take it slow. Never leap into atrocity, ease into it. Give the people time to acclimate to audacity. What they once thought intolerable will become the new status quo. If someone dares to complain, turn their own narrative against them and declare that they are the one who is being outrageous and even treasonous. You don't just jump to executions. Establish a bureaucracy. Start with surveillance. Move to detainment, imprisonment, forced labor, torture. Call it enhanced interrogation. And eventually, executions. By then, they'll be used to cruelty. They'll partake in cruelty. And at every step of the way, you're rewriting history and you're shifting blame.
How can I possibly do this?
What the average person is capable of would shock you. You may think it impossible to convince people of certain things, but if you repeat something enough with force and confidence, people will believe it. Keep it simple. We will create such an imbalance of power that it will become unsustainable. Make no mistake. So eventually some people will have nothing left to lose, and you will not be able to forestall revolution any longer. But worry not. If you do it right, the elite will still be safe, because throughout every stage of our accumulation of power, there will also be a scapegoat. Oh, we don't want to do these things to you. We don't want to have to put cameras everywhere. We don't want to censor you or monitor your communications or put up checkpoints or frisk you or demand your papers. But you see, we must do it because of those people.
Who?
It doesn't matter who. Pick them and make them the enemy. Make it socially acceptable to openly hate them. Fear is a tool. Use it. We will be the protectors, the savior. You see, they will be the reason we need to be harsh, with the promise that once they are defeated and we have total control, everything will finally go back to the good old days.
But we're living in the good old days right now. Things have never been better.
People don't know that. They take everything for granted. Invent an existential crisis. Constantly reiterate how concerned everyone should be about it. Find your scapegoat and blame them constantly. First, you divide the people, and then you tell them how much those other people cost them and owe them. Pick some groups and make it okay to hurt them by leading through example. Single them out, concentrate on them, dehumanize them. When people see their leaders mistreating them, it will become acceptable, and others will follow suit. As long as it's just them and not everyone else, people will find safety in being against them. The more a person openly hates them, the more loyal that person will appear, and that person will find sanctuary in that loyalty. Standing up for the hated groups will carry great risks. Their defenders will be traitors. They will become part of the hated group, pariahs, and thus also okay to mistreat. Moralize the violence. Make it a necessity. If you do not hurt and kill the guilty, then the guilty will hurt and kill the innocent. So through pain and violence, you're actually doing a good thing.
But people won't actually do this on my say-so, will they?
It's not you, it's the law. If you obey the law, you're good. But if you break the law, you're bad. We need to shift from corrective action to punitive action. If you don't want bad things to happen to you, then simply don't break the law. That will be the rationale. Revive our primal hunger for vengeance. Atrocities are not committed by people who think of themselves as evil. They're committed by perfectly normal people who think they're doing something good. The trick is to get them to that point with your propaganda. You need to find the people who will obey. Those who understand that laws can be unjust are the people we need to eliminate early, or they will give us problems. We need people who confuse legality with morality. The people who respect the law so much that they follow it blindly, completely without discretion or compassion, will happily commit your atrocities, and they'll do it with a clean conscience for the rest of their days. They need only some dehumanization and acclimation to cruelty through gradual escalation. Weed out the rebels. Make your word the law. Bureaucratize the cruelty, and the people will do your dirty work for you.